Hi, everyone. I'm Big Al, and today we're going to talk with Clay Hess. Clay is a singer, songwriter, producer, and a former guitar player for Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder, and he has his own band, which is the Clay Hess Band. And I've seen Clay out and about. He helps a lot of other people out. He's always busy in the studio or doing something. Clay, it's great to talk with you.
Good talking to you again.
Yeah, sure is. And we're going to get to see each other here in a few months. I'll tell you, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But, I always catch everybody on Facebook all the time. And I have seen you on Facebook building guitars. Are you into guitar building now?
Getting into guitar building. Yep. I've already sold 4 or 5 and getting started on building.
Well, I'm just going to take a stab at it. What are you calling them? Hess?
Absolutely. I'm terrible at coming up with names, so that one was pretty easy.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty catchy name, I think. So, can you describe one of those guitars for us? Or are they like a copy of a
Oh,
D18 or a Tony Rice Santa
yep.
Cruz? What?
Oh, mahogany, torrefied red spruce tops, uh, and the bracing's different than anything out there, pretty much. It's kind of I've been playing a Rick Hayes guitar for the last 14 years, and I borrowed his bracing because he's kind of slowing down on building. And my guitar is the best guitar I've ever played, so I'm going to use at least a version of that bracing in my guitars.
And I'm going to assume you probably have different models.
I'm going to try it. I had 2 sets of Brazilian; those got spoken for pretty early, and I think all I'm going to build is mahogany guitars because that's what I like anyway.
Well, it was interesting when I seen some of those little videos and pictures on there. You work on a guitar, and I thought, well, I'll be doggone, old Clay's got into building guitars, and I know they got to be good because a lot of you. I think a lot of your relatives, you know, work at one of the guitar places and build guitars too.
Yeah, well, my cousin builds guitars. He worked at StuMac, still does, and now I'll burn them before I put out one that doesn't sound good.
I bet. No, I'm sure they're absolutely the best. Well, I just wanted to kind of mention that. Where can people come and find you besides Facebook? Have you got any kind of a website for your guitar work?
Not for guitar work yet, uh, but clayhess.com. You can find me there, which I got to update it. It's hard to keep up with 15 different jobs all at one time. But I'm doing the guitar thing, playing in my band, and play with Mark Newton, playing with Larry Cordell. Um, it's and doing recording work for other people, and got my own studio, I engineer and produce records. It's everything you got to do to try to make a living playing music.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's a tough gig, but somebody with your talent, I don't really have too much trouble. How long was you with Ricky Skaggs? Quite a few years, wasn't you?
3 years. I was
Years.
there from January, the 1st of January of '99 to the end of 2002, or
And
what's 2000, the end of 2001. Sorry.
2001. And
Yeah.
I think I seen you working with Sierra Hall too. Didn't you play with her some?
Yep. I played with her from '99 to 2012, or not '99, 2009 to 2012. Played with Mountain Heart for a year and a half before that, and Mark Newton for 4 years before that.
Yeah, I talked with Mark here. Oh, I don't know. It's been quite a while ago. We were talking about an album with the Goodman Brothers, and he had different surgeries and stuff, and now he's back. I guess pretty much to normal. I'm glad to see him back out. He's a great talent. So
Uh,
when y'all gonna be playing Station Inn?
Tomorrow night,
All right. That's
playing down
good.
there. Kind of got most of the old band back together we had for the Hillbilly Hemingway record. So 3 out of the 5 of us, anyway.
That's good. It's gonna be good stuff. And after we get done here, then and after you get done with Station Inn, you're going to be heading to North Carolina, and you're working on an album yourself right now.
Yeah, I just put out a single. I'm going down there and recording a few guys. Trent Calicut, who's a great banjo player, lives in Asheboro. So I'm going over to Asheboro and record him and Zach McClam, who plays with Alan Bybee, playing bass. And our old mandolin player, Nick Keene, who used to play with me, played with Josh Williams. He's played with several really good bands. Great player.
Well, let's talk about this new single. Our good friend, mutual friend Melody Wilson was nice enough to send me that single, and I was sitting there listening to it, and I said, "So, when's this going to release?" And she says, "Well, I guess more or less is kind of released right at the moment." And I said, "Can I play this?" And she said, "Yeah, I guess so." And a fantastic cut, a tune that came out in 1947 called 16 Tons. And
Yeah, it was
you put your own style to that.
well, it was the first song I ever remember hearing. My grandpa was a big Merle Travis fan, and I heard the Merle Travis cut for years before I even knew Tennessee Ernie Ford recorded it. But everybody always sounded way too happy recording that, singing that song for the what it's about. So I thought this needs to be a more bluesy, mournful song. So that's this is the way I've always heard it in my head. So I finally got to record it and got Ricky Skaggs to play mandolin on it for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I called him and I was like, "Hey, I need you to play mandolin on a song for me," because my dad always told me if you give somebody the option to say no, they will every time. And he didn't say no. So yeah, he came to Randy Kohrs studio and sat there and played the song and acted. He was enjoying it. He loves, he likes playing off the cuff anyway. I don't think he had even listened to it before he came in. He just sat there and played what he felt, which is what I wanted anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Well,
like, he told me to produce him, and I was like, I ain't producing you. You've produced Grammy winning records all over the place. I ain't gonna you produce you.
well, he likes that off the cuff stuff, like you say, and of course, I like it. I love it myself. I remember back a lot of times when you'd be playing somewhere and you kick something in there like, "Oh yeah, man, that's a great riff," but he's in that, So I can see where all that. That's great stuff. So, is this single 16 Tons? Is it out? Is it available to people to download?
Yes, it is. You can download it at clayhess.com. And that's about it. I'm not a big fan of streaming sites. I may end up putting it on Spotify later, but it's hard for me to justify putting it on a platform that doesn't really pay you for playing it.
I understand you.
So it's hard enough to make a living as it is.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And then some of those platforms they like to charge you quite a bit just to sell that thing. Uh,
Oh yeah, I'll sell it for $1.50 and PayPal takes 49 cents of that every one.
oh yeah, every bit of it, man. You better believe it. That's what the music's all about.
Yeah, it's more business than it is music.
It really is. I remember Larry Sparks telling me one time. He said, "You've got your back porch singers," and he said, "That's fine, back porch players." But he said, "You really, to want to make it in the business, you've got to study the business of music. That's how you really make it."
Yep.
So what else
Yep.
is going on with you? Your CD have can you reveal anything on it, like some of the tracks, or you going to keep that a secret?
I'm recording a wide variety of stuff, some original stuff, and I'll tell you this: I'm recording a Glenn Campbell song, and I'm recording a Frank Sinatra song. My spin on a couple of those, and Carl Jackson's going to be singing some tenor on the Glenn Campbell song. My wife's going to be singing some. My son will be on it. Um, uh, let's see who Ricky's on this single. Randy Kohrs is on it, and we've been kind of musical brothers for years. So that's like literally playing with a family member. And it's hard to tell who else will show up on this thing. I don't know yet.
I like that. Well, I don't know either, but I'll certainly be glad to spin it when I get a hold of it. But what else is going on with you in your music world? I know there's got to be
Uh,
a few things. You got some gigs coming up, I'm sure, besides Station In
yeah.
tomorrow night.
Well, April's a dead month for me this year, but May I'm going to be out. You got to do a CD release party for a record. I just recorded and mixed in Nashville on May 29th. I got to play at Mitch and Cindy's Bluegrass Jamboree in Cortland, Ohio, Memorial Day weekend. The weekend after that, on the 30th, 31st, 1st and 2nd, it's Back 40 Bluegrass Festival in Curryville, Missouri. And the weekend after that, I'm in Baghdad, Kentucky with Larry Cordell. And then that's all I can remember right now.
Well, I always wondered, I always try to watch as closely as I can what everybody's doing. I guess since you can sell that single right off your website, people go buy it. We better mention that again. That's clayhess.com.
And the digital downloads tab.
Digital downloads tab, clayhess.com. So
Yep.
I'm going to get a chance to see. I guess I'll be with not only Wilson and Steve and all of them. I'll be emceeing the Grits and Grass Bluegrass Festival coming up September 12, 13, 14. And I see
Oh,
that
great.
you're going to be headlining that, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess I'm a headliner. I didn't know that. I knew I was going to be playing it, but
Well,
playing there on the 13th
they got
with my band.
Oh, playing with your band on the 13th, right?
Yeah, and I'm doing like a solo thing on the 12th, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thursday night with I think the other great people like Dale and Bradley. But oh yeah, your pictures all over the place on that.
Oh, great.
So
Great. I mean, great for me, not for everybody else, probably.
Now I'll be looking forward to seeing you personally. But anyway, everybody, that's gritsandgrass.com. Gritsandgrass.com. That's September the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Clay Hess is going to be there. His band will be there. So forward to maybe hearing not only 16 tons, but a lot of other is going to be.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
It will be. Buddy, I really, I just wanted to chat with you here for just a little bit. And I think that I'm going to let you go and we'll just kind of wait till that album comes out and we'll see what everybody thinks of it. I already know, but you know, it's going to be a great album, I'm sure.
Well, thanks. It was good talking to you again, Al. Looking forward to seeing you in September.
All right, buddy. You too. You take care of yourself and be careful going to Nashville.
All right. I'll see you.